The Roman soldiers knew this, so they waited. But when Spartacus's army left the top of Vesuvius, the Roman soldiers did not see or hear them. Spartacus and his men killed most of the soldiers. After that, Spartacus's army went south, but more and more Roman soldiers went and looked for them. In the end, they found and killed 6,000 of Spartacus's men. Then they put the bodies next to the Appian Way, a long road from Rome to Capua. Why? Why did they do that? I asked. The Romans didn't want more slaves to run away. What about Spartacus? Did they kill him? They never found Spartacus. I think about that. Did Spartacus go and live in a different town? Did he live happily? I like my master, but I must be careful because I am his slave. My master can sell me or kill me at any time. I look at Lyco. He is not looking at me. When you were young, did you want to be free? I ask. We are slaves, that's all, he says. I want to ask many more questions, but I must not. I know that when I look at Lyco's face. We aren't far from Neapolis, Lyco says. Soon we can eat. We are sleeping near there tonight. Then tomorrow we go to Bembe. The next day we are on the road early. Lyco and I do not talk much. All morning we drive. Then, when it is beginning to get very hot, Lyco says to me, at the top of this hill, you can see Bembe and the city gate. I cannot wait. Slowly, very slowly, the horses walk up the hill and look at that, I say, and stand up. I can see everything. I can see the walls of Bembe, the streets and the buildings. Sit down, Lyco says, but he is laughing. I said, I cannot stop smiling. The horses are walking quickly now. We come down the hill and soon we arrive at the city gate. There are more horse carriages there. They are carrying apples, bread, meat. We go through the gate between the tall walls and we are in Bembe. Look at the people. Look at the houses. Apples. I look down. A boy is walking next to us on the street. He is small, but he is carrying lots and lots of apples. Hungry, Lyco asks me. I can eat 10 of them, I say. Lyco laughs. You can have one, he tells me. He takes 4 coins from his pocket and gives them to the boy. Then he takes 2 apples and gives one to me. Are you going to look at it or eat it? Lyco is smiling and eating. I begin to eat my apple too. It is good, but I cannot take my eyes away from the street. There are red, green, and blue houses and shops all along it. Some small, some big, with tall doors. Men, women, and children are talking and laughing over the noise of horses, feet, and horse carriages on the road. Lyco says something. What? I shout. Look at the graffiti, he says, and I see a picture and some writing on one of the buildings. I laugh. The picture is of a man. He has a big nose, and the writing above the picture says, "This is the king." We are on the town center, Lyco shouts. Down there is the house of Romeo. Do you know him? No. He is the most famous garum maker in Bembe. His house is very big and looks out across the sea. Are we going to buy garum from him? Yes. His shop is on the top of the mountain. It has the best garum in Bembe. We move into a different street. It is called the Heaven District. Lyco tells me on our right we go past the Romeo Past. Down there, Lyco says, is the Forum. Everyone buys their food and goes shopping there. It has the most important building in Bembe. Look down the street at the forum. There are hundreds and hundreds of people. Some are walking quickly, some are standing and talking to their friends, but most people are looking at the little shops. Can we go to the forum? I ask. Later, perhaps, when we have the garam. But it must be a very quick visit. We need to be back near Neapolis before evening. We go past the forum. There are lots of houses and shops. We are moving slowly because there are many horse carriages. Down this street is the amphitheater, Lyko says. Many famous gladiators fight there. He laughs when he sees my excited face. Gladiators? Lyko told me about them when I was young. And at Pompey's amphitheater, I know 20,000 people come and watch when the gladiators fight. I remember some of the gladiators' names: Alexander, James, Daniel. Many were slaves, and no gladiator lives long. On our left, there is a shop. I am hungry again. Can we buy some bread? I ask. Later, says Lyko. The garam shop is next. I do not want to go to the garam shop, I think. I want to get out of the horse's carriage and buy bread. Go to the shops in the forum and visit the amphitheater. I want to walk in Pompey, a free man. A fire in Vesuvius. Lots of people are walking down the street in front of the garam shop. They are going home for food, I think. The sun is up above us. It is very hot, and I am very, very hungry. Let's go, Lyko says, and he and I get off the horse carriage and go into the shop. Hello, the man in the shop says. Can I help you? We want 4 boxes of garam, Lyko says. Our master is Pliny the Elder. When the man hears that, he shakes Lyko's hand. Pliny the Elder? Well, we have the best garam in all Pompey. How much for 4 boxes? Asks Lyko. Only 30, the man says. That's very expensive, Lyko says. I can give you 20. Take it or leave it. The man is going to say yes, I know it. But at that moment, everything begins to shake again. This time, it is different. It is worse, much, much worse. Stones fall from some of the buildings in the street, and in the garam shop, we fall to the floor. The man Lyko. And then there is a loud, loud noise. Is the sky breaking? Is the sun falling? I put my hands over my ears. We run into the street. There everyone is looking up. Smoke is coming out of Vesuvius. It is going far into the sky, higher and higher and higher. Help us! Help us! Shouts one woman. People are crying and running. Everyone is afraid. I look at the man from the garam shop. He is watching Vesuvius. His mouth is open. There is a fire in Vesuvius. The man says he cannot take his eyes away from it. But Lyko gives him some money and says, put the garam on our horse carriage, quickly. The man goes into the shop and brings the boxes, and we put them on the horse carriage. Let's go, Lyko says. Get on. Our horses begins to move, but there are many people on the road. Some are crying, some are running, here and there. Move, Lyko tells them, but nobody is listening. The horse carriage moves very slowly. I look up. The sky is getting darker. Where is the sun? After many minutes, we got to the way back, but there are lots of stones on the road, and suddenly one of the horses falls. We get off the horse carriage and look. Its leg is bad, and it cannot get up. What are we going to do? I ask Lyko. We must leave the horse carriage and this horse here and walk. I look at Lyko. Walk to our master's villa? What about the garam? We can't carry 4 boxes, and you can't I stop like is old, and missing him is far away. He cannot walk there, but I do not say it. We must take some garum to our master. We can leave 2 boxes here, quickly, he says. We take 2 boxes from the horse carriage, and Lyko gets into the horse. Bimbi is shaking, and they want to get out. Soon we see the city gate. It is open, but there are hundreds and hundreds of people. People shout and fight because they want to go through the gate. There are people in front of me, behind me, on my left, on my right, and I cannot breathe. And then suddenly we go through the gate. I see Vesuvius again. The smoke above it goes far into the sky, up and up. When I look at it, I feel afraid. When I arrived in Bembe 2 hours ago, I was happy. Now I am happy because I am living.